The Media Mothership presents
Top 5 Oldest Stadiums in Major League Baseball and their stories.
Number 5.
Ring Central Coliseum. Located in Oakland, California, the Ring Central Coliseum, also known as the Oakland Coliseum, is a multi-purpose stadium and home to the MLB's Oakland A's since it first opened in 1966. Ring Central Coliseum is built 21 feet below sea level, meaning only the third deck of the building is visible from outside the park. This, along with man-made hills built on the surrounding area, give off the illusion that the stadium is very short. In the 1950s and 1960s, business and political leaders in Oakland wanted something to give the city its own identity, something to give itself legitimacy as a metropolis, and not just a shadow of neighboring hotspot San Francisco. How do we do that, they thought? Professional sports. Thus, a desire for a stadium in Oakland was born. The city decided to have a non-profit corporation oversee the financing and development of the new facility, rather than a city or a county government issuing taxpayer-backed bonds. The team assembled was called the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum Board, led by local real estate developer Robert T. Nahas, who was instrumental in the project's success. Architectural plans were unveiled in November of 1960. A month later, a site west of the Elmhurst district of East Oakland, alongside the recently completed Nimitz Freeway, was chosen as a building location, largely in part to the Port Authority of Oakland. The port gave 157 acres of land at the tip of the San Leandro Bay to the East Bay Regional Park District in a trade for 105 acres of parkland across the newly created freeway. The port then donated that land to the city of Oakland, creating the necessary land for construction. In 1962, the city of Oakland officially approved, and $25 million in financing was arranged. Oakland had its stadium. Now the only thing it needed was a team. In 1965, it was rumored that the then Cleveland Indians could possibly leave for a West Coast city, like Oakland. However, the team stayed in Cleveland. A few years later, then owner of the Kansas City Athletics, Charlie Finley, was unhappy in Kansas City and was impressed by Oakland's new stadium. After a bit of ugliness and controversy for a few years, MLB owners finally allowed Finley permission to relocate the Athletics to Oakland in 1968.
Number 4.
Angels Stadium of Anaheim. Often referred to by its unofficial nickname, the Big A, Angel Stadium has served as the abode of the Los Angeles Angels since 1966 and is currently the second oldest stadium in the American League. Located near the eastern boundary of the parking lot is the famous landmark Big A sign, which was originally used as a scoreboard support. The halo, located near the top of the 230-foot tall, 210-ton sign, is illuminated following games in which the Angels win, both at home and on the road, which has led to fans to chant the expression, "Light that baby up." The California Angels moved to Los Angeles in 1961, spending their first year playing at Los Angeles Wrigley Field, then the next 4 seasons renting Dodger Stadium. On August 31st, 1964, ground was broken for Angel Stadium, and by 1966, the Angels were playing in their new home. The stadium was built on about 160 acres of flat land, originally used for agricultural purposes. Like many Major League sports stadiums built in the 60s, Angel Stadium is located in a suburban area. In 1996, the Walt Disney Company, a minority owner of the team since its inception, gained enough support on the board to effectively take control of the Angels. Soon afterward, the Angels and the city of Anaheim agreed to a new deal that would keep the team in town until 2031, with an option to leave the facility after the 2016 season. As part of the deal, the stadium underwent an extensive renovation, returning the stadium to its original role as a baseball-only facility. Disney briefly considered moving the Big A scoreboard to its original location, but decided against such a move, citing costs, as well as the fact that the Big A had become a Southern California landmark in its parking lot location.
Number 3.
Dodger Stadium. Located in the Elysian Park neighborhood of Los Angeles, Dodger Stadium serves as the residence of the Los Angeles Dodgers and is the oldest ballpark in Major League Baseball west of the Mississippi River. Opened on April 10, 1962, the stadium was constructed in less than 3 years and is the world's largest baseball stadium by seat capacity. In the mid-1950s, Brooklyn Dodgers team president Walter O'Malley tried to build a domed stadium in Brooklyn, but was unable to reach an agreement with city officials for the land acquisition. He eventually reached a deal with the city of Los Angeles to develop the Elysian Park Heights public housing project, including a revamp of facilities in the entire area. However, the local political climate changed when Norris Paulson was elected mayor of Los Angeles in 1953, and proposed public housing projects like the Elysian Park Heights lost most of their support as they became associated with socialist ideals. After negotiations, the city purchased the Chavez Ravine property from the Federal Housing Authority at a drastically reduced price, with the stipulation that the land be used for a public purpose. Homeowners in the Chavez Ravine area were convinced to sell their homes, most of them, however, unwillingly, but were offered immediate cash payments to leave. After a while, the amount of money offered to leave was less and less, resulting in the Battle of Chavez Ravine, a 10-year struggle by residents to maintain control of their property, which they ultimately lost. It was not until June 3, 1958, 5 years after the land was purchased, that Los Angeles voters approved a Taxpayers Committee for Yes on Baseball referendum that the Dodgers were able to acquire 352 acres of Chavez Ravine from the city. At the time, Dodger Stadium was the first Major League Baseball stadium since the construction of the original Yankee Stadium to be built using 100% private financing. Dodger Stadium has a capacity of 56,000 people.
Number 2.
Wrigley Field. On the north side of Chicago, in the Wrigleyville neighborhood, sits the iconic Wrigley Field. The stadium first opened in 1914 as Wheatman Park, built by Charles Wheatman for his Chicago Whales of the Federal League. Wheatman's Whales won the Federal League Championship in 1915. However, the league folded after that season. After his league folded, Wheatman formed a syndicate, including the chewing gum manufacturer William Wrigley Jr., to buy the Chicago Cubs from Charles P. Taft for about $500,000. After the purchase, Wheatman immediately moved the Cubs from their horrid West Side grounds to his brand new 2-year-old park. The Cubs played their first game in their new home on April 20th, 1916, a 7-6 victory over the Reds. When Wrigley Jr. acquired the Cubs in 1921, the field was named Cubs Park until 1926, when it was renamed Wrigley Field. The oldest park in the National League, Wrigley Field has a seating capacity of 41,649. Wrigley is best known for its ivy-colored brick outfield wall, unusual wind patterns off Lake Michigan, the still hand-turned scoreboard, and views from the rooftop behind the outfield. Wrigley was also the last Major League park to have lights installed for night games, not doing so until 1988. The stadium has undergone major renovations during the 2010s, including adding a Jumbotron scoreboard, a video scoreboard, expanded outfield bleachers, and a giant flashing W, which flashes when the team wins games. Nicknamed the Friendly Confines, Wrigley Field was designated a National Historic Landmark in 2020.
Number 1.
Fenway Park. Located near Kenmore Square in Boston, Massachusetts, the iconic Fenway Park has been the pride of the Red Sox since 1912. While the stadium was built in 1912, it was rebuilt in 1934 and is the oldest active ballpark in Major League Baseball. Fenway is the 5th smallest ballpark in the MLB by seating capacity and the 2nd smallest by total capacity, holding only 37,755 fans. In 1911, the Red Sox were playing in the Huntington Avenue grounds when owner John I. Taylor purchased the land bordered by Brookline Avenue, Jersey Street, Van Ness Street, and Lansdowne Street, and developed it into a much larger baseball stadium, naming the new area Fenway Park, as his family owned the Fenway Realty Company, citing obvious promotional value. The first game was played on April 20th, 1912, with Boston defeating the New York Highlanders 7-6 in 11 innings. Coverage of the opening game would be overshadowed, however, due to the sinking of the Titanic just a few days earlier. On September 8, 2008, Fenway Park broke the all-time MLB record for consecutive shutouts with 456, and on June 17, 2009, Fenway sold out for the 500th consecutive Red Sox game. The sellout streak ended on April 11, 2013, totaling 794 regular season games and an additional 26 postseason games during the streak. Fenway has been renovated and expanded many times, resulting in quirky features such as the triangle and Pesky's pole. In left field sits the legendary Green Monster, the largest wall in the MLB, built to keep spectators without a ticket from watching the game outside the stadium. The Green Monster, to this day, is complete with a working manual scoreboard and is famous for preventing home runs on line drives that would go over the wall in most, if not all, other ballparks. Fenway is a pending Boston landmark, which will regulate any further changes to the park. Fenway is largely considered to be one of the best-known sports venues in the world. Always remember, like and subscribe for more videos. Leave a comment below on anything you might have liked in this video, and let us know what you might like to see in future videos. Till next time, we're out.